Alright, so it's 5 a.m. and we're ready to roll out here for a long run Saturday morning, and I don't want to do this at all, I'll be honest with you, but we're here and we're gonna run, and once we get a couple miles in we'll probably be alright. There's always those feelings of like, dang, this sucks, I don't want to do this at all, and I have a little bit of that right now, but once I get a couple miles in I'll probably be alright. And I have a range today. I can go either 14, I can go 14, somewhere between 14 and 16 today, so I might lean more toward the 14 side, which means I need to get 11 miles in before run club and then run 3 miles with the group. So yeah, that might be what I do today, run like 14 miles instead of 16. Next week will probably be 85 miles, and then I'll probably hit 100 the week after that because I got a busy schedule coming up. So that'll we'll go straight from 85 to 100 just to get there. That's what we're doing. So I'm at 9.5 right now, and just still feeling like this is rough, but we got 14 today, and so once I get to 11, we'll start it for run club. All right, so 11 miles, hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, just one of those days. One of those days where you're like, ooh, this doesn't feel great. Still gotta get it in though, and we got it done. We got it completed. That's the big thing. I'm gonna do 3 more miles with the run club, and gotta get to 14 on the day, and then I'll have 5 miles easy tomorrow. So. Alright, so it is Monday morning. It's like 10:30 in the morning. I slept way later than I wanted to this morning, but I got a bunch of rest, and I think I'm gonna need a bunch of rest for the week that I'm about to have in training. The plan this week is to run 85 miles, and so that is just over 12 miles a day, which is a lot of mileage, and you have to be ready for that. And so my body was obviously just trying to get prepared for what we're about to put it through. I was doing the math on it and trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to structure it this week, but I think I'm going to do 10 miles today, 12 miles tomorrow, 14 miles Wednesday, 12 miles the next day, 12 miles the next day, and then 17 for my long run on Saturday. There's a helicopter overhead, I don't know if you can hear it, but 17 for my long run on Saturday, and then 8 miles for an easy Sunday run. I think it's like right overhead. That's how they always are out here. So with that, obviously we got a lot of mileage planned this week. Today, we're gonna go out, and I think I'm gonna run a few miles this morning, and then maybe 5 miles this morning. I might come back and run 5 miles later this evening, something like that. Or maybe hit 4 this morning, come back and run 6 this evening, later this afternoon. I'm gonna drink some coffee here, keep hydrating, and then I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna log a few miles, and then take you through what my Monday looks like. Might have to lift later today too, so could finish up the rest of the mileage at the gym. So maybe I'll go out and I'll log 6 miles this morning, and then I'll come back and I'll go to the gym and log the last 4 miles on the treadmill after a little bit of a lift. We got the Garmin Forerunner 970 right here. Pretty solid watch. It's what I use for literally all my stuff. I would say it's like their higher end, catered more toward elite serious runners, but honestly it has every feature that you would ever need. For me, this is the one I've been using for a while. Garmin, actually, they sent it to me, full disclosure, and I've just absolutely loved it. I used to use Coros. I had Coros a while back, and I just found I always had battery issues. Both of my Coros watches always had battery issues, and with that, they would just die, or the battery would, initially it was really long, and then as it got toward the end of its life, it would just die, and they would usually completely die out on me after 2 years. And so all my Coros watches just started to slowly deteriorate. But with Garmin, I've never had any issues like that. Even my really old Garmin that I have, it took
Took that one probably like 8 years to die. I've kind of just been with Garmin recently, and they've been incredible, and this is the one I've been using. So let's go get this run in. I think I'm just gonna run for like 30 minutes. I just got stuff to do. I'm gonna come back and I'll run some more later, but just get a little bit of a run in right now. I feel like a cup of coffee before you run, like the cheat code. You just feel like mentally better, you feel physically better. Caffeine just helps with like everything. And so I get out here, I'm like, oh, why do I feel 1,000 times better if I were to just go out and run? It's the caffeine, it's the coffee. Alright, so 5 miles complete, 36 minutes, 25 seconds, 7:16 per mile. Not too bad. It's kind of hot out here, but ran into my friend Alan. He's been coming up to Run Club. He ran for UNC and Yale. He's out here logging some miles, and so yeah, it was cool to run into somebody. We ran 1.5 miles together, so, and then he was going back to his house. That's 5 miles right there. I'll probably come back later this evening and run somewhere between 5 and 7 more. I would prefer to kind of front load a little bit, so I might do a little bit more, but might do like more closer to the 7 range than the 5 range. But that's just because I need some, I'd prefer to have a little bit more mileage in the front of the week while I still feel good, as opposed to at the back end, so. All right, so we're about to go pick up a new desk that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It's usually like a $300 table, and she's selling it for $125, so I was like, well, that should work. Like, I just need a new desk. I need something with a little more space. We have this giant desk behind me, and so with that, we're gonna head back to the house. We're gonna put it together. I think I'm gonna go get some food because I am super hungry right now. Haven't eaten today, but the thing about, like, you need to eat a lot whenever you're running a lot of mileage, but like if you just eat big meals, like you're still getting the same amount of calories, and you're literally calories in, calories out. So I feel like the main thing with food is that you want to make sure that you're getting enough nutrients in, because even if you aren't eating 3 meals in a day, like make sure that you're getting 2 big meals in where you're getting enough calories. And so you're trying to make sure that you're getting enough calories in 2 meals, make sure you're getting the same amount that you'd be getting in 2 meals as you would in 3. So if I were to eat a big breakfast, I probably wouldn't eat as big of a lunch, and then I'd eat a big dinner. And so right now, like, I haven't eaten really anything today. I had a Rice Krispie and a banana for like breakfast, I guess. For me right now, it's just kind of making sure that I'm getting enough calories, make sure that I'm getting enough food, and I can get that in 2 meals if I just eat a big lunch and a big dinner. And that's kind of like what my thought process is behind it. So I think I'm gonna go to Chipotle, because there's a Chipotle like right over here, and I'm gonna get something from there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that's kind of what my thoughts are on this stuff. So got the goods right here. I went with a bowl with some chicken and corn, pico, all the goods. I'll have to dive into this. It's gonna be a good amount of calories for sure. Mixture of recovery plus fuel. What else could you ask for? Alright, so we got the desk set up. I'm still kind of organizing it, but this was the vision for it. And so now we have a lot more space than we had before. The other one was like pretty small, and so I felt like I didn't have enough space to really get like work done. If I wanted to like write or something, I could do it over here. Like there wasn't enough space. It's actually out here. There wasn't enough space on this thing to actually get stuff done, because it's like 42 inches across, and then it's 18 inches in depth. So for what it is, it kind of just works a little bit better, but the only problem is that we don't have any storage right now. So all the stuff that was in the desk is now right here on my bed. Can't just leave it there. So we need to somehow come up with a storage solution. So I think I'm gonna go online and see if I can find any, like, I don't know, just some sort of like drawers or something I can put under the desk. It's pretty tall actually under here, so I feel like I have a good amount of space. And so with that, like, I think I'll be able to find something that will work. But yeah, it's not the most ideal setup. But I'd like to go to the gym today, and I can take you guys kind of through what that secondary lift is that I was talking about a couple videos ago, because that lift was something that I've kind of started implementing, something that I've been trying to do. So the last lift you saw was like my lift A of the week, and then this video today, I'm gonna go through some of that like lift B of the week, which is 6 different exercises you can also do. And so I kind of alternate between the A and the B side of things.
started off this workout with a warm-up because it's important to get all the muscles warmed up because you don't want to get hurt and you don't want to get injured, and this is usually just what I do. And so today we did some split squat holds as well as some single leg RDLs that were just body weight. Then we also did some slow and controlled push-ups because this is a fantastic way to get the upper body warmed up. So the first exercise of the day was goblet squats. These are pretty much just front squats with a dumbbell, and today I used 100 pounds, but you can use whatever weight you're comfortable with. For all the workouts today, I try to aim for 3 sets of 4 to 6 reps, and I go about 3 reps shy of failure. If I'm not as comfortable with the weight or exercise I'm doing, I'll go a little bit lighter and just focus on controlling the weight as much as possible while still aiming for that 4 to 6 rep range. The second workout of the day is everyone's favorite Bulgarian split squats. For these, the goal is to stabilize the weight with your quad while also getting a full range of motion. These are going to make you incredibly sore, so if it's your first time doing them, make sure that you're not going too heavy. The next exercise we're doing here are quad extensions. You're really just trying to concentrate the weight on your quads and control it as much as you can. Controlled movement is always ideal, no matter what you're doing. The next exercise on the list is seated rows, and these really target your back muscles. I set the weight to 70 pounds and probably could have gone a little heavier, but I really just wanted to focus on controlling it as much as I could. The next workout is lat pull downs, and these are kind of tricky when you first start. The goal is to move this weight with the muscles in your back. You're not trying to target your forearms or biceps or triceps or anything like that, but you're instead pulling this weight with the muscles in your back. I set it to 100 pounds, but when in doubt, go a little bit lighter until you can get that motion right. The last exercise on the list is bicep curls. For these, I reach for the 20 to 25 pound dumbbells and try to go until failure.
Alright, about to hop on the treadmill. Gonna go for a run anywhere between 5 and 8 miles, depending on how I'm feeling. Legs are pretty heavy after the lift. Definitely gonna be pretty sore tomorrow after the workout that we have tomorrow morning, so gotta keep that in mind, but about to just let it roll. I should listen to the toast. I don't think I'm gonna listen to the toast. Maybe I am a hater. I'm not gonna listen to the toast. I don't know what I'm gonna listen to. I only have 9% battery on my phone, so it's about to die. So maybe I'll just listen to some music, put it on low power mode. Need to go get some dinner. It's almost 7 o'clock, so time to eat.
Not my favorite. Alright, so we got our pizza here. This right here. Half of it has basil, half of it does not because Mary Grace doesn't like basil. We made the dough earlier, directly from scratch, and usually I just use flour, olive oil, salt, sugar, and fast rising yeast. Mix that in together, blend it up, kind of not blend it up, but stir it up, put it in a bowl, let it rise for a few hours, then I kind of stretch it out, make some pizza dough, make it into this shape, add some cheese. So we did cheese for this one, just like regular pizza cheese, which is a mixture of Parmesan, mozzarella, a few other things, and then we put some pepperonis on the top, and we put a sauce down, obviously. So then we got this sauce right here. It's not actually a pizza sauce, it's just a tomato basil sauce, so we're gonna see what it tastes like. But even though it's not a pizza sauce, it's just tomato basil sauce, it still should be pretty good because I picked one that's a little bit thinner consistency, so that way it tastes closer to a pizza sauce than it does pasta sauce. And so here we are. This is what we have tonight, and this is a perfect way. We have a workout tomorrow, and so this is like recovery from everything I did today, plus getting ready for a workout tomorrow at the track. We're gonna do something a little bit longer, and so. All right, so other pizza, we got a basil pesto with chicken and pizza cheese plus Parmesan on top of the chicken, and yeah, this looks like it's gonna be amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but gotta let it cool off a little bit. That's okay. Are you eating this ice piece?
Yeah, please.
20 miles. I'm pulling these out because, you know, like, I have 2 pairs now.
All right, Trey, what are you doing today?
I'm gonna attempt a 2-mile time trial.
Come on.
Yeah. See.
You're gonna do a 2-mile time trial. There's no attempt.
Good, good.
Good work.
Good.
Let's go.
Done, Trey. That's good.
All right, so it started raining pretty bad out there at the track, so I didn't actually record a lot more. Like, I just kind of threw the phone off to the side, had to put the camera in the car, put the phone in the car as well because I just didn't want it to all get soaked. But the workout went really well. We did 4x2 miles. So the first 2 mile, we were pacing Trey for a 2 mile time trial. And so he was trying to run a PR in the 2 mile. He'd never run a 2 mile. Apparently he'd never run a mile before, like an all out mile or anything before either. And so we didn't really have any gauge of how fast he was gonna run, but we were like, all right, let's see if we can run 11:30. And he started running back in May of last year. And I think he ran a marathon, I guess in December of last year maybe. And so he kind of trained from May to December, ran a marathon then, and then has just kind of continued to train over the last 8 months or whatever. And he's gotten pretty fit, and he comes from a soccer background. He's 35 years old, I think. And so he comes from a soccer background. He played soccer in college, but he's just now gotten into distance running. He was like, hey, like I want to see what I can do in a 3200. And so we were like, all right, yeah, like we have a workout. You can hop in for one of the reps and we'll pace you through what pace you want to run. And we started like talking about it, and he was like, well, I think I want to run like 11:30. Like sub 12 would be really good. If I could just run 11:30, then that'd be great. And so we showed up to the track at 5:30 this morning, did our 1.5 mile warm up. And I was like, all right, well, look, what we're going to do, we're going to handle all the pace work. You don't have to worry about anything. Just stay calm, stay relaxed, stay smooth. And with that, we're just going to get the work done. And so I was like, just turn your mind off. Like, don't let it be harder than it has to be. Don't worry about the times. Don't worry about the splits. And so what he did there, he just kind of like sat in the middle of the pack. So me and Cole sat on the back of the pack. And then we had like Adam and Whit and Jake up toward the front, and Slater was in the pack too. And so we had like that, they were kind of in the front pack, leading the pace, setting the pace, and then me and Cole were in the back, and then we put Trey right in the middle. And so Trey's only option was to keep up with the pack, and if he slowed down, he was gonna kind of run into us almost. And so he was like, well, I just gotta keep this pace, and I don't have to think about it. Let me just stay calm, let me just stay comfortable. And that's the only thing he's thinking about in that moment is like, okay, we're just gonna run the right pace, we're gonna run the right effort. And I feel like it worked out really well for him. He ran 11:19, I think was the official time. Whenever I went back and I looked at it. So it looks like 11:19 was what he did today. That is a solid time. I don't think he was expecting to run that fast, and so it's really cool that he got out there just randomly at 5:30 a.m. on a Tuesday and ran an 11:19, like a huge PR for him. And I think he's got some more in the tank too. I think he could definitely go sub 11 sometime pretty soon. But that was like our first rep. And so we ran 11:19, and then for the second rep, ended up running 11:25, and that 11:25, it felt smooth, it felt comfortable. And it started to rain on that one too, and so we were just kind of like just chilling, just in the rain. Felt good out there. It was enjoyable, and we just kind of had a good time with it, and ran 11:25. And I was like, okay, this feels nice, and that's probably pretty close to my marathon pace. If I'm honest, like that's right on marathon pace actually. 11:25 should be, that's 5:45 pace, like just under 5:45 pace, which is my goal marathon pace. And so it felt like smooth, it felt comfortable. It didn't feel like I was really like struggling with it. And then what we ended up doing after that, we hit an 11:08. And so our third rep was 11:08, and it was just me and Whit, I think, at that point, and the other guys had kind of pulled off. And so we ran 11:08, and that's 5:34 pace, and that one felt also pretty smooth, and we were pretty relaxed. We were talking kind of through some of it and just keeping it chill, keeping it comfortable. And then in between all these reps, we had like a 1,000-meter jog, and so we were just running 1,000 meters, and we got some water before the last one, got some sugar before the last one, so we stopped for a little bit longer. And then on that last rep, I was like, I'm just gonna open it up and see what I can do for this like last 3,200 and see what I have on the legs, because at that point we'd done like 10,000 meters worth of work. And I was like, well, if we've run 10,000 meters at 5:40 pace or just under 5:40 pace, then let's just see where the legs are. Like that's a pretty good bit of running before doing anything faster. And so I was like, well, let's just open it up. And so I kind of just tried to find a rhythm running about 75-second speed, came through the first 400 in 74, and then split a little bit faster for the second one, and just kept it around 74-second speed for the whole thing. And so ran 74-second laps for 8 laps and ended up running a 9:50 3,200. And I was like, well, okay, that's a pretty good effort. Because even though the legs were tired, I was still able to run a 9:50 at the end of running 3 3,200s, and also having a lift yesterday plus a run last night and a
2 runs yesterday. Like, it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot of fatigue that's built up on the body, and I also didn't sleep super well last night. And so looking forward, I know that I'm going to have a lot more to give, but right now it's just been cool to have a pretty nice extended base phase where I've just been building up base fitness for the last 8-10 weeks, and it's been great. This is actually going to be the end of this video, so if you enjoyed it, please drop a like and comment and subscribe, because that's the only way that we can actually like reach more people. That's the only way that these videos are going to get out to more people, grow the audience, and more people are going to see what we're doing here. And so if you could like, comment, and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Also, today for most of the run, we had some Cadence. And so we had the Cadence Race sachets, and those have 100 milligrams of caffeine plus 500 milligrams of sodium, some electrolytes built in, and so it's literally designed for faster paced running. I use it before my workouts. I'll mix in one of those sachets, which, like I said, it has 100 milligrams of caffeine plus 500 milligrams of sodium. Mix one of those into some water. I'm drinking these things usually before the run and then a little bit during the run, so I'll drink half the bottle probably before the run, and then throughout the run I'm also getting some more. So I'm getting some caffeine in the middle of the workout as well as a little bit before, plus some sodium and electrolytes and stuff that I'm sweating out. And so I found it has been super helpful. It's been some great stuff. So if you want to check out some of that, go to usecadence.com, and you can use code BROCK, and that'll save you 10% on your next order. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.